Hello everybody. This is the quick video on what to do this week. Now, last week we've covered effectively some more variable stuff, user input, talked about errors and that type of thing. This week we're going to have our first actual programming assignment. We have enough stuff to actually build a program now. You should know how to, have user input, how to do some variable stuff and some basic math stuff. That's essentially what you'll need for this. So I'm not going to go into the details as to what you have to do in the project because I have a video here where I go into the details about what you have to do. But essentially, you're going to make this program. I got a little example of what it's going to look like if it runs correctly. And this will use everything you've used up to this point. As long as you've paid attention to the lectures and done all the practices, this should not be too difficult. But if you want to, find me in my office or message me or whatever if you have any questions, feel free. You can even come to my classes if you have questions, if you want to work on something and ask questions. More than fine. I have usually labs like on Wednesdays, it depends. You're more than welcome to sit in there because my class will normally be sitting in there working on projects and stuff anyway. So just let me know and I can help you if you need it. But this is what you're going to have to do for this week. So your first solo project without me holding your hands. Now again, if you have coded all the code up till now, you'll want to look back at those projects. You'll want to open them up and check them out. If you don't remember, you can right click on a file and edit it with idle to look at the code. Or you can go into idle, file, open, and open it from there. I usually right click edit whenever I want to look at something. So. But you're definitely going to want to look back because you're going to need user input, so look at that project. There's also a video on Canvas. Look back at, of course, variables, you'll need that as well. And of course, user input, I just said that. User input, displaying things on the screen, those are essentially the things you're going to need for this project. Now, we will be talking about if statements as well. So I have a little video on how if statements work. That will not be on the next test or the current test that we're going to be taking here next week, but on the next one after that, which I also have the test review. So this is a review for the test that you're going to take next week. So the way our class will go pretty much forward, you're going to have a test after every 30-point project. So we're going to have a 10, a 20, a 30, and then you'll have a test. This first chapter has a few extra points added to it for error checking and various other things. And that's just simply because there's a lot more stuff to get used to at the start. Now that we know how coding works and turning in projects by this point, you're going to have a 10-point project, then a 20, then a 30, and so on. Then we have a test. So this is our 30, which means you'd have a test over the material we've covered so far. And that'll be next week. Now, terms, I've got posted right here. So you should not have any problem finding that. Next week, you'll have one or two little things to do as well. We'll get into it once we get to there, but the test will be the main thing you need to do. I'll send out that password, usually at the beginning of the week, with the beginning of the week message. And all you have to do is simply type it in. Once you start it, you go, you do it. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now, that is essentially what you got to do this week. So, a review for the test for next week, one lecture, and of course, the programming assignment you're going to have to do this week. If you have any issues, questions, problems, just let me know and I will be happy to help you.